I'm Pastor Fritz, pastor at St. John's Lutheran Church here in Westboro, Missouri, and we're gathered here as an altar guild, and we're talking about communion in the shape of the worship service. That communion at our church, we serve the first Sunday of every month and then special days throughout the year. This group is responsible for putting that all together. One of the things about communion is that many of us don't realize is placed right within the offerings. And so when the offerings come up, if you remember, "Create me a clean heart," we sing. And when that offering comes up, that's when the table is set. And so you'll see the pastor remove the coverings off of the communion when the altar, before the offerings come up, because communion is an offering. It is the offering of bread and wine, the earthly elements, brought to the table to be distributed to all who come. And so communion's fundamental purpose is to come into the presence of Jesus Christ. And when you notice, we put the communion, the trays in the center up at the altar, and then there's a box upon which we place that cross, so it's up above that communion so that people can see that cross as we set the table. Now we set the center part, those are the individual cups, and it has a pall over the top of it, a covering. And then just to the left, we set the communion wafers. In those wafers, we have a small little container that is taped on there that we put the gluten-free bread in there, so that there are some individuals who take that. In the communion wine, we have the wine, but we also have the grape juice. All are invited forward to the table, whether you are confirmed or not confirmed. All kids, all people are invited forward. Some young ones are not ready for communion, others are. And when they come forward, they receive a pastoral blessing, because the image is what we do, though we have individual tables. We have 12 on that side, 12 on this side, depending on the ushers. Sometimes it's 23 on that side. But we bring everybody to the table. And then once we have served that communion, we have a blessing that's at the end of it. Fundamentally, it is the second sacrament. The first is baptism. Communion is the second sacrament. Luther said there's only two of them. They are earthly elements. In baptism, it's water. In communion, it's bread and wine. Those two earthly elements are put together with the words that Jesus proclaimed. And when those words are spoken, we come into the presence of Jesus Christ. In both the sacraments in the Lutheran Church, baptism for infants, because it's all God's work, and the sacrament of Holy Communion, where everyone is invited. You don't need to be a Lutheran. You don't need to be a member of St. John's Lutheran. All Christians are invited to the table, for all who believe that Jesus Christ is really present in, with, and under this bread and wine. And now we come to the fourth part of our worship service. If you remember, we began with gathering, then we had the word, then we had the meal, now we have the sending. A very straightforward proclamation of a benediction with a song that sends us out into the world to be at peace, not only with ourselves, but with the world itself, moving out to proclaim Jesus Christ by word and deed. So this concludes our four-part series on how we worship here. I pray that you're able to come and join us. Come and see. You can get online first, but most important is to come and meet the individuals gathered here every Sunday morning at 10:30. Individuals who are broken, who are in some cases a little odd, but all of us put together into the body of Christ to make something glorious happen, not just here, but across the world. This summer, I hope you're able to be here, because right after worship, we're going to have refreshments right out here. An opportunity just to sit and talk and discover how God moves in each other's lives. Thank you for tuning in, and if you have opportunity or find this useful, I encourage you to share it.